Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we got the release notes before May for what's going on exactly that they have planned for Lost Ark. So first off, we already knew about Slayer coming out, which comes out tomorrow at the time of this recording, and we also have the Ebony Cube coming in. So let's get into all this. There are some nice things coming with Slayer and the Ebony Cube as well. We have the Ebony Cube, Event Guardians coming back, Legion Raid balances, and quality of life updates, and new cosmetics. At the time of this recording, there is also Korea is getting patch testing server going up later on in the week, so we'll stay tuned to see what goes on with that, because there's going to be some quality of life changes, some balancing around classes on that, so we'll see what happens with that. But for the NA EU launch areas, this is what we're mainly going to be worried about, is this stuff here. So we got the Slayer, and so we've gone over a lot of that already. Ebony Cube, anything, these are the areas. Anything before that is automatically going to turn into silver, is what I've been seeing and noticed about that. So it's going to be really nice. The Ebony Cube is just a merge of the Cube and Boss Rush, so everything that was tied into those are merged into this. So it's a lot quicker, a lot more worth your while if you get the ticket compared to Cube. I have stacks of them throughout all my characters because I did not enjoy running them. And the Boss Rush, I actually just, as soon as I got them, I did them just because I need the gems. Like everybody else, I need the gems, so I ran the boss just to get them taken care of. But to have this nice area to get all the honing support stuff, the card XP, the silver, all that's going to be nice in one area. It's very helpful. Event Guardians is the next event that's going to be happening starting tomorrow. We've had it before, but anybody that's level 50 and item level 250, so literally as soon as you complete North Vern, you're in the running. You actually can complete, like I've done it with the story and stuff, as soon as you get into Argentine, you can actually have a level 50 character within Argentine, but your item level is not quite 250. It's not until you start getting through North Vern that you get that, or Shusha. So that's kind of where you're going to be at on progression that way. So, where did I have it? There it is. So that's what's going on. A bunch of rewards are going to be throughout that. Different reward chests, so stay tuned to see. We'll stay with that. We'll see what's going on live on Twitch when that comes through. So kind of take a look at that. There's a progression event. That's the Hyper Express. Starting with Slayer, you don't have to use it on Slayer. You can use it on any character you so choose. It's going to be the same as Artist, but a little bit better, where you can go up to 1460. So that's going to be super nice. The Punica Power Pass, as long as, you've either had the account created with Lost Ark for the returning players before December 14th of 2022, you'll get it. The Power Pass, or they are saying the Steam Guard Authenticator up and running, or if you made any purchases inside Lost Ark or on Amazon games for Lost Ark, you'll get the Power Pass. You no longer have to do the Beaver Friends quest to do that, so it'll be really nice and helpful for that. This was mainly their way of getting rid of bots before the bots became too strong, too quickly. That was just their way of mitigating that to help out that way. So like I said, Hyper Express event 2, 1460, and which that is super nice because you have a static bonus 20% chance of success rate up to 1460, and the cost of everything is cut down on that individual that you have this Hyper Express active on, which you can only have active on one character and you cannot change it. So make sure you select the class that you want for sure to have the Power Pass, because usually people do the Power Pass and then the Hyper Express, but you can just get the Power Pass if you just want to play the character. But you have a character in your roster that you're like, I really want to get this character boosted up. You can do two separate things. You don't have to have it all in one character. The character that does get the Hyper Express gets the 4x3 free engraving setting. The only thing you have to get is your stats from your accessories and an ability stone. Ideally, my idea that I would go for if I was anybody is do a little research on the class that you want and see if you can get a stone for that class that is, has 2 engravings on it that works for both engraving specs that you want to run. It will help you out immensely, because then you can pick and choose which one you want as you're playing with the 4x3 for free. And then after that, you already have your rock or your card ready to go, and you can proceed forward. That's going to be your best bet, and then you can build around that once when you feel comfortable with the playstyle. Competitive Proving Grounds, those that enjoy PvP, it's the next season's coming out, so everybody's getting resetted, ready to go. I'm not much of the PvPer, so not much for that. Knowledge transfer. This is really nice for those that are coming back into the game, or brand new characters, ready to go. This helps you out. Once when you complete a certain area, you can go through and boost your character on another alt on up using gold, but it used to take 8 hours or something like that to get them through, and they've removed it down to like Korea, where it only takes 10 seconds, so you can get back on that character, back on the grind, helping them, enjoying that character more and more. You don't have to, can't play this character for 8 hours now. I might as well select a different character and play them. No, it's 10 seconds. There you go. They added Rowan into it because it was only up to South Fern. Now up to Rowan. You don't need to do Rowan to progress story, really. You don't have to do it. So honestly, you can skip it. Skip Rowan. Rowan's just really nice to get some card XP, and just regular experience for your character. Really, Southfern Rowan would be your nice things once when you hit a character level 59, because from 59 to 60 is a slow grind for that individual character. So really, Rowan will help out with that if you feel like doing the story. You no longer have to go to the Chamber of Mind, which is a big helpful thing, because it was just a teleport here, teleport there. It was just nice. They cut out one section completely. The transfer fee is going to be adjusted, so we'll see kind of how much cheaper potentially it could be or not. So it'll be great to see that. No longer need Stronghold level 15. You can do it right off the bat, which is going to be nice. And it kind of give you a little quest about how to do it. Now for the people that are going through and don't want to use power passes or anything like that, or trying to get other characters without spending the gold and just enjoying it, hence my scrapper here, or not scrapper, striker. I'm going through experiencing this. Level 1 to 5 guardians will give you an automatic preset of items. Once when you leave the raid, they are gone. They are not bound to your character. They're only tied to that event or the guardian raids, and they kind of give you a little TLDR of how those items work in that raid. Next big juicy thing. They recently took off gold up to 1445 on what it needs to hone to cost. They have now removed that to 1460, and now they're also decreased the experience needed, so it's going to be really nice. They're increasing the success rate, the base success rate on everything up to gear 18. So that honestly will put you up to the 1460 mark, which is really, really nice. Cut out all the gold there so you can get all your alts, multiple alts up to that. The only thing that's going to be the thing is you're still got your stones that you need, the basic fusion materials. You're going to need those, shards, leap stones, all that stuff. You're still going to need all that stuff. So still, it's going to take a little bit to get through that. But the honing materials and price reduction, that's still going to be nice. It's really nice and helpful. And as it says here, removed gold to hone. So it's going to be free on the gold, but you're still going to have the silver and everything else. But they're reducing it down. So that's going to be very helpful. For those that are going through the normal grind from tier 1 and tier 2, silver and leap stones are going to go up. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to run some chaos dungeons and get some basic math of that for the character that I'm running through, and kind of giving you an idea of how much of an increase that's going to be. So stay tuned later on for that. Stronghold updates, they're just going through it, adding a bunch of new things, helpful things there to kind of help you through the stronghold, or adding different things. So if you're interested in strongholds, there you go. Guilds, if you're into that, where it used to have the Cuban boss rush, that, it's back to the ebony. Same with Unitask, going to be the same thing, just to kind of cut everything down. And I'm going to change things up in guild stuff. Trade skills, they're adding more world tree leaves, so if you're a horizontal gamer, there you go. And so just a bunch of other stuff, those that are interested in doing that. UI updates, it's kind of helpful things. Quest UI updates the quest search and functions for quest journal. Oceaner updates. The nice thing is you can choose the view list is going to be a little bit better. You can add favorites of it. You can see all of them. And the nice thing is the queues on it is only going to be 10 seconds. And once when you get into it and get out, 10 seconds instead of, you got like 2 minutes to get in. And as soon as you get in, then you got another 2 minutes of waiting. It's just 10 seconds. It's going to speed up getting around the world a lot better. The item codex is going to kind of help out a little bit more. Just kind of help show things around a little bit better and help out that way. Item tooltips, showing how each thing's working. System UI, like all this stuff. We'll link this in the description, so if you want to read it all, you definitely can. General update, add a new daily, login reward. The added Gates to Paradise opens quest before Algacia. So we need to complete this before Algacia next month. So that's just going to make sure you do To the Sounds of Whisper on Whispering, or To the Sound, Whisper Island. Blue Blazing Blade. Make sure you have all these prerequisite quests done before Algacia, so you can do that and you're not having to backtrack before when that comes out. Changing the pheromone stuff, so more trophies. Chaos Gate, if you leave it without participating in it, you can't enter back in. So a lot of different stuff. They can add you can banish people that you notice are just AFKing on Adventure Islands, that they're not helping out. So that's going to be kind of helpful out for that. Store updates, different items coming through. We get a Western exclusive skin. So this is what it looks like on the Assassin class and their weapons associated. So Deathblade, Shadowhunter, and Reaper, as you can see. The Gunner class, you get a variety there. Here's the weapons, what they look like. Martial artists, here's what it looks like. So there's that. The mage, their weapons for each one. Specialist and her weapon. And the warrior class, which they even got it ready for Slayer. So there's all of that. We get a hound pet. And notice this will cost some money and stuff, so buy it at your own desire. And here's the Slayer cosmetics for that. Now the real big juicy things, I was kind of expecting what they did with Vulcan and to do to Vicus, where they reduced the gold from 4,500 to 3K, but they're not going to do that probably until a con. So, but these are going to be nice things happening to these raids. What's going to happen is a lot of changes that used to be white mechanics for these first gay stuff right here. It's going to help out everything. So the update to entry limit and gold rewards, the weekly entry limit, so where you could only do 3 of the Guardian or Legion raids, so you only could pick Vault and Vicus or Coccosadon, or Vicus, Coccosadon, and Brelshaza. That's been lifted. You can do all the Legion raids as much as you want on any character. You only get 1 time per week per character, but you can do all of them in a week if you so choose to on that particular character, which is nice. You can say whether you want to receive the gold. So say you want to run them all, but you select Vicus, Coccosadon, and Brelshaza to get your gold, but you still get the rewards, but not the gold from Vulcan, is what they're saying here. And so that's going to be super nice. And the 6 characters, still going to be tied up to the 6 characters here, get 3 areas to get gold, depending on what's going on. So that's going to include the Legion raids, the Abyss raid, and soon when we get Calangel, the dungeon, that's going to be tied in with this 3 times per week gold earners. So for the characters that don't earn loot though, or the gold, get bonus loot stuff, more rewards, restricted 3 times per character, so each character gets 3 extra more rewards depending on the raid and stuff, so it can be very useful for gearing up your alts really quickly as you get to that point. Now, the nice thing, here's the raid balances going on that we were talking about. A lot of the party wipe mechanics are going down, being cut out. So, where you have to trade off the buff, doing enough hits back and forth with the parties for Argos and Gate 1, that happens twice, is no longer a party wipe for the party that doesn't get it all off. It just does a huge amount of damage, so your supports or your pots can end up healing you on up out of that, and you can still continue without that. So really helpful there. The Gate 2, remove the energy that cures the magic patterns. Is this the first or second guy? So this is the first one. So if you don't kill the first guy fast enough, because usually right now, high enough level, you can just burst this guy down, never see his wipe mechanic, and continue on. But if not, it's just going to do heavy damage to you. So it's going to be very helpful there. And that's going to be helpful. You know, a lot of helpful things. If you're running Argo still for the gold and stuff, a lot of helpful things to see, like all the stuff instead of being wiped by a party member because they're not doing something properly. The big things are really in Vulcan. So my understanding of this Gate 1 effect is the orb mechanic, being able to see better on who needs to grab which orb and at what time. It's going to be better than currently. Make sure you've done a little damage before on the correct boss and see, okay, which I see 1 stack, 2 stacks, 3 stacks, clear up until your orb count. That's how it's currently done. So it's going to be nice. And then they're trying to help out with trying to get everybody the little blue orb in Gate 2 when you're trying to destroy Vulcan armor and he's running into the pillars and things. It's going to help. They're trying to help that because his dash attack that he would run into the wall takes a little bit of time. They're doing the 3 counters. If you fail a counter too many times, it usually would wipe you, but now it does damage to you, a huge amount. And then reduce the damage received when the pattern of blocking Volton from collecting mana blue orb fails. So that's going to be very helpful there. Vicus, really nice, a lot of things. The changing color mechanic for the dimension gates has been, the types of orbs have been reduced. So right now you have to get 3. Whether we'll see if it's just a 1, 2. I would imagine a 2 orbs have to make it in there for them to be staggered. We'll see about that more tomorrow. We'll run some of those tomorrow and see how it goes. Improved visibility of where the orbs create when the patterns stop incubus. When you have to do the stagger check to figure out whether it's inside or outside. That's going to be a little bit better. Collecting those up so he doesn't absorb them. The getting hit, circular or donut shaped pattern summoned by the nightmare, it's going to be helpful there. When player needs to find safe zone in one of the. So, let's see exactly the name of that. Everybody's been calling it pizza pattern, special pizza pattern, to where everyone stands in the middle and then runs to the side. You get an orb that follows you, and it either goes clockwise or counterclockwise. And you have to get that shield. It's just going to be, damage instead of insta kill. Increased damage, decreased damage, and modification hit of various patterns when fighting either one of them. So they're going to do less damage, which is going to be nice for everybody. Gate 2. You're just going to take damage, a huge amount of damage instead of death when the first main gate mechanic of, fighting the right clone to stand by with the purple going 0-1-2 or red 2-1-0. That's going to help out. And then when you have to do the absorbing portion where you block all the black orbs, and let the red ones fly through. Those are just going to be damage. Damage and it scales with how many failures instead of wipe if you've got too many. We'll no longer, someone in the hallucinating sword for gate 3 will get their meter charged enough to be able to see. Vicus will no longer do the counterattack right before, you have to do the charm to avoid that, so that's going to be nice. The frogs, you can damage them now without having to have meters, so it's going to make it a lot easier to do the way frog cheats around that, so very helpful there. And remove the pattern, which the 4 orbs, only on hard mode, where you would have to spam spacebar to clear those before it gets to her. The covetous meter monsters will decrease the amount. The monsters will you will still get meter, but not nearly as much as before. Decrease the covetous meter gain. Periodically after Vicus HP returns to 0, so you won't be charmed as quickly. And the nice big thing here for Vicus is, I haven't had this happen, but I've seen it happen where people get the Medusa right off the bat, so you can't do anything. She's not going to do that. It's going to be a later on thing. Super nice. For Cuckle Sadon, no more being paralyzed when someone has the cross laser explosion on them. That's going to be super nice. Gate 1, when he does the dice and freezing, not going to have to worry about that being as tedious, because he's going to delay the time frame of the cards coming out and everything like that. A lot of people get in their position a little bit before they get frozen, so it's going to be nice. Decrease the damage Cuckle deals when the boss spins at certain directions. Decrease the time, or increase time for counterattacking when he flips and dashes. That's going to be nice to help out there. Increase the time for pre-showing attack boundaries for some patterns, and add an addition of pre-attacked boundaries. Super nice. And no longer will throw the balls up in the air and air bombing patterns when they hit super high up. When removing the stun debuff with the cross, the blade execution, aka Mario, the message can operate level, will appear and apply to all difficulty, including Infernals. So that's going to be nice for that. He will no longer get more bonus, the following Mayhem bonus, and the doll will is no longer affected by taunts. Made a little changes to the dungeon voting to kind of help out with that. You can't escape while it's in progress. So it's going to be a lot of different things. And then most of these bug fixes are different things. You can look at each one of those later on. So hopefully it was a quick kind of rundown with all this stuff. But if you really want to read into the nitty gritty of it all, feel free. I will link this in the description below. So stay tuned, and we'll catch you on the next one.